your window to the world's history. Share your favorite historical fact or story in the comments and subscribe to the channel. The Cheyenne were once one of the most powerful tribes on the Great Plains, but they had to fight hard to stay at the top. Today, there are approximately 22,970 Cheyenne people divided between two recognized nations, the Northern Cheyenne in Montana and the Southern Cheyenne in Oklahoma. Sweet medicine brought the sacred arrows to the Cheyenne, and they used these divine weapons when they fought against other tribes. During times of peace, the arrows were kept in an arrow lodge called a mahayom. In addition to arming the Cheyenne, Sweet Medicine organized how their society was built, created a legal system, formed military societies, and created the Council of 44, who ruled during peace times. The Council of 44 was made up of 4 chiefs, or Vihuo, from each of the 10 main bands, called Manaho. Sweet Medicine is said to have predicted that the arrival of the horse, the cow, and the white men to the Cheyenne. Erect horns also predicted the coming of the horse, and is thought to have convinced the Cheyenne to abandon their sedentary lifestyle for a nomadic one. Luckily, in 1908, a Cheyenne named Three Fingers found the horn and returned it to the sacred buffalo hat bundle. Today, the Cheyenne call themselves Sisters, which means the people or those who are like this. The Cheyenne language is an Algonquin language, commonly called Sis and Sisters. There are slight differences between the dialects of the Cheyenne language spoken in Montana and Oklahoma, but regardless of region, there are 14 letters in the Cheyenne alphabet. While the name is pleasant enough, the sun dance is a harrowing experience for the dancers. They endure physical and spiritual tests by fasting for days while exposed to the elements. Outsiders still don't know much about the specific origins and details of what happens during the sun dance. That's because most tribes forbid the ceremony to be filmed or photographed. Unfortunately, the Cheyenne's time in the Black Hills was short-lived. They weren't the only ones vying for territory, and found themselves frequently facing off with migrating groups of Lakota and Ojibwe. Performing a counting coup was a way of defeating an enemy, often without killing them. The coup was a way for a warrior to show his courage and involved charging at an enemy, either on foot or horseback, and getting close enough to tap them with a hand, bow, or stick. The Dogmen, or Dog Soldiers, are the most famous Cheyenne military society. They earned a fearsome reputation in the late 1830s, when they acted as key players in the Cheyenne's resistance to the expansion of the United States, defending territory in present-day Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, and Wyoming. Before the Dog Soldiers were exiled, it was customary for men to move to their wife's village. The exile of the Dog Soldiers introduced patrilocal customs, as their wives began the tradition of moving into a husband's community. By the late 1860s, Black Kettle's status as a peacemaker and ally to the U.S. government was well known, but that didn't save him from the violence of the war. In the following years, the Cheyenne and their allies fought against the U.S. government for control of the Western Plains. On June 25, 1876, the Cheyenne were instrumental in one of the most infamous battles in American history, The Battle of the Little Bighorn, also known as Custer's Last Stand,